Yesterday we talked about how you cross a road in a tactical environment, and a lot of people in the comments were asking, well, what about the ranger scrolling method, or scrolling the road? And truthfully, I don't like that technique. It's not very effective in my opinion, but I'd be remiss if I didn't actually show you what it looks like so that you have one more tool in your toolbox to use if you find the need to do something like it. But fundamentally, what the ranger scrolling technique looks like is everybody takes a chance to pull security. So the first person comes up, usually you're in a file or usually in a smaller fire team, and one person pulls security, and they get a good sector of fire going down one direction of the road. And then the next person comes up and bumps them, and this person takes up that sector of fire, and the next person goes across the road and goes and looks down the other direction, like that. Then this person comes over, bumps him. He comes over, bumps him. And everybody stays in the same order, because as each person bumps, he bumps, he bumps, this person continues. And it just keeps going like that. Ooh. He bumps, and everybody keeps going. And eventually, everybody crosses in the same order that you started with. Now, this can be effective. It's very simple, and it can look really, really cool because everyone's getting down, pointing out stuff and everything. It has some serious limitations, though. The big thing is that it can really be slow, where, it takes time as one person comes down, takes a knee, the other person stands up, crosses the road, takes a knee, the other person stands up, crosses into the woods. All of that takes time, and you can probably do it in teams of 3 to 4, all right, but when you get into larger organizations like a squad, a platoon, that can be very, very time intensive, and that can really, really slow you down to where you're spending too much time on the road itself rather than just crossing the road in the first place. Also, if you end up going really, really fast and you do get it to a really high speed, you run into a different issue where guys are setting up in security, they're looking down the road, but as soon as they're getting set, they're immediately getting bumped. And as soon as he gets set, he's immediately getting bumped, so that you never get a really good perspective of what's actually down the road. And it's happening so fast, people aren't able to identify, shadows. So if, the enemy is creeping through the woods, they're not going to notice that stuff because they're not even taking a break, a pause to even look. They're not noticing movement because they're already getting bumped to keep moving. At which point, what's even the point of pulling security? You might as well just kind of do a little side saddle and just hop across the road looking down without even taking a knee and taking the time to pull security if you're not actually doing security. So that's why I prefer the techniques in which you really just have, whether it's people in the front, people in the back, like we talked about yesterday, at least two people, depending on the size of the road, they set up permanent security for the entire movement, and everybody crosses as fast or slow or whatever stealthy as you want, and then these guys fall in behind afterwards. When everybody's pulling security and everybody's trying to do it one by one, it tends to be the fact that nobody's really pulling security. So add it to the toolkit if you want. Understand that, there may be an application for really small teams in certain types of roads, but I would recommend going with the what we talked about yesterday and having dedicated people pulling security the whole time.